Hello, I'm going to try to do a quick review of the Costco Bourbon County Stout, basically. Kirkland Vintage Ale, and it says right there clearly made by Deschutes. So it's a 12%, um, 12%, right? 12% Imperial Stout that's been bourbon barrel aged, made by Deschutes Brewery that only recently started getting distribution around here. And I don't think I've even had a Deschutes barrel aged beer. And you can see it's not pitch black. Wasn't really expecting that. There you go. Looks like a stout, but it's not one of these motor oil thick ones that are popular now that are kind of in part influenced by maybe pastry stouts, but just people want super thick stuff. And I love that. I actually just had a really good stout from Timber Ales. So we'll see if I like this one. Ooh, much more of a brown ale, and it has a little bit of an oxidized thing from the bourbon barrel aging. I believe this is 100% barrel aged beer. It's bourbon and brown sugar, and some slightly spicy root beery notes. It smells pretty good. It doesn't smell like lots of chocolate or coffee. It's more of a it smells like a root beer, brown ale, bourbon-y type thing. Yeah, not much roast going on here at all. Cola notes. Definitely got some booze in the finish and bourbon-y for sure. And yeah, it's tasting like it's even more aged. Like this is bottled in July 30th. So it's, and obviously this is the sort of thing that seems like you could age. They call it a vintage ale, but I don't know. It's not quite all wet paper, but pretty oxidized. Even for a purely barrel aged beers, which those are just gonna get oxidized. It's impossible to let a beer sit in barrels for years and have not some of that, but this is just not great. A lot of people would say the body's thin, um, but it's also more of an old-fashioned imperial stout. But it's not. It doesn't have the roast. Doesn't have the hops. Hmm. It seems closer to a British style, maybe. It's got this molassesy qualities to it, but. I mean, it's the fermentation profile is clean. No off flavors, but there's not a great combo of flavors. Now it's getting quite dry. It's getting tannic. It's got the bourbon in there, but then and here it's not even quite molasses. I guess it's molasses. It's getting pretty bitter now, but it's like there's not much sweetness or body. I guess it's got body. It's 12%. Well, like the bourbon, I think almost the barrel aging is too strong for the base of this beer. Actually, that might be it. If there isn't enough rich, sweet, chocolatey, roasty malt to deal with the extensive barrel aging and oxidation that happens with extensive barrel aging. It's just bourbon and a little bit of char, a little bit of nut. Not even really. It's just like molasses and booze and bourbon. Like if there's a cocktail out there that's just does you dissolve some molasses into some hot water and then mix it with seltzer and add some bourbon. Like there's almost no malt character, and this should be a malt character bomb. And those people like these kinds of beers that are stouts that are boozy and have lots of barrel character, spirit character, but then like no beer character. Yeah, this is not a recommended one. It was only $10, but if you just want to get drunk, you can get some 40s or some of these new stovepipe cans for $3 that are 12% or whatever. This is Yeah. 3 point. And it's bitter. I'm going to be subjective on this and call it a 3.2. Bye.